Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. I don't see.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Participants soon, if you did participants. Find the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just wait a little longer. We've 30 people online and we can start.
Look at these people joining us today. Thank you.
If you want to turn on your cameras, that's just fine. There's no pressure either. We'll try and get through this in 45 minutes as well. So we'll wait. We can see people joining. There's 44 now. When this slows down, we'll probably start. So
the attendees don't seem to be able to put their cameras on, are they not? Don't think they're able to put the cameras on. We have a hand up there. Andre? Do you want to turn your mic on and ask a question, is it? And Brian? Andre, do you want to go ahead and ask a question? You have your hand up there.
Okay, Kira's saying her camera's not working. That's fine.
I think they're not. I think they're set up that their cameras are off. I think that's why they have to be set up. We didn't realize that, folks. Sorry about that. We'll see you all when you start with Tangent.
Okay, guys, there's over 50 now, so we're going to start. So I'm just going to share my screen. So just checking, audio sounds great. Everyone can see my presentation. All looks good. Thumbs up. 2 participants have raised their hand. Oh, lots of people have raised their hand.
Everything is all good. David is telling us all good.
Thanks, guys.
So good to go. Thank you very much.
Jean is our technical support today. So let me see if I can scroll now to my next. So my name is Una McMenamin. I'm the student recruitment manager here at Tangent, and I am the person who is your go-to on all application questions. I'm also in the process of reviewing applications as they stand now. You might get emails from me regarding your documents or where your application's at. And when we do get round to offering those places, we'll be in contact, and that's all through my function and my team. And then we've got Joanne.
Hi, everybody.
Well. Hi, Joanne. So Joanne is one of our program coordinators. Joanne, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, no, my name is Joanne. As I say, I'll be the program coordinator for workplace wellness and climate entrepreneurship. So if any of you starting on those courses or have any questions on them, I'll be chatting to you over the next while, I suppose. Yeah, that's it.
Perfect. And then we've got Jeanne. So Jeanne, do you want to do a little quick introduction?
Perfect. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. And I am exactly like Joanne, but for the culture and creative entrepreneurship. So I'm really excited to be here today, get to meet you a little bit, to welcome you to Tangent, hopefully in September. And thank you, Una.
Great stuff. So we'll jump straight in. We're going to have lots of opportunity for you guys questions, and that will be very obvious. So I'll do a little in-depth dive into eligibility, and then we'll have an opportunity to ask questions. So leave questions until we're at the end of that eligibility space, and then I'm going to go through a springboard application with you all as well. So, and there'll be opportunities to ask questions about the application process at that point. We're not going to try and answer too many questions on course specific details, but there might be some opportunity to ask those questions at the end. So just to keep that in mind. So jumping right in, you may be aware that these courses are Springboard funded. So all applications are done through the Springboard website. What I'm going to do now is just show those the eligibility requirements that Springboard ask that you have before that you can apply for these courses. So the 2 main eligibility requirements are that you must be living full-time in the Republic of Ireland, and you must own your very own PPS number, PPSN. So those 2 are important, and there's documents that you have to include to support those 2 elements. So, and I have a link to that supporting document piece on this presentation, which will be available afterwards. There's also the nationality visa requirements. So not only do you have to be resident in Ireland, you need to meet these requirements also. So that's whether you're an EU, EEA, UK, Swiss national, or you have a stamp 4 EU FAM, stamp 5, stamp 6, or your Irish residence permit card. So that just means you're a permanent resident of Ireland. So anyone who's familiar with these visas, this will make sense to you. And then there's other little sub parts here, like your subsidiary protection status. These are just little statuses that if you are on a visa, you'd be familiar with. And it's something that you just have to put those supporting documents in on the Springboard application, which I'll be able to show you in a little in our next demo. So there's that, but there's also, have you lived in either the EU or the EEA, the UK, Switzerland for the last 3 out of the last 5 years? This can sometimes catch people who've maybe returned from Australia or have been away and had been resident in Ireland. So it's one to consider. You need to have been a resident in the last 3 out of the last 5 years. So we do get applications from people who've been away and then they're not actually eligible. So it's just one to take note of. And then if you're in just a note, and I've left all these notes on the screen so that you can read them in your own time as well. But if you are in receipt of any Department of Social Protection payments, these are not eligible, these are not required. We need to see the payment part. We won't be asking for the residency. So it's just a little thing. You'll notice, and I'll show you when I'm doing the application, you won't have to add those pieces if you are in receipt of a payment. So there you go. The process to determine eligibility is undertaken by us and our team. So we're pretty meticulous. And again, I'm sure there's people on the call who've got friendly little reminders from me saying, I can't see actually your proof on your application if you have made your application. So there's still lots of time. If you do get one of those emails, the great thing about Springboard is that we review and we do help applicants. So if we see something that's incorrect, we will let you know. So then another part of the eligibility criteria is these courses are level 9. So we're expecting anyone to apply on an academic basis to have a level 8 or level 9 or above and be able to prove that. And you can prove that through your transcripts. You can prove that through a copy of your degree. And you can also include your NARIC form. Now we've included this link here because there's a lot of questions around international qualifications, and it's a really simple process of simply getting a proof of NARIC. So it's fairly straightforward, and if there's a lot of interest in the NARIC form, so if you do have an international qualification, do let us know and we can actually demo it. If we have time at the end, Jan is our international specialist. And if there's a lot of interest, I don't have a problem getting that demoed. So just let us know. You can probably put it in the chat now and Jan can take a litmus test. So then finally on the eligibility piece, when you're applying for a course through Springboard, why that happened? You need to be applying on the basis that you're either employed, unemployed, a returner, and that's not a returner from Australia or away, it's a returner to the workforce. So that's being a homemaker, or maybe you were a carer, or you're economically dependent, and that's a very simple process as well, or you're a recent graduate. So it's really those 4 areas. And Springboard does fund people that are employed. That's a query we get sometimes. So there is a fee for those that are employed. It's a small fee. It's about €300, depending on the course. If you're unemployed, there is no fee, but you don't pay those fees now. You pay them once you've been offered a place. So, yeah, and I've got a list of supporting documents here, and they're the supporting documents that we're expecting to see when we're reviewing applications and checking to see if you are eligible. So in that list of supporting documents, which you can also find on the Springboard website, there's things like your passport, your birth cert, a bill, a redacted bank statement, and the bills and bank statements are proof of residency, that sort of thing. So that's it on your eligibility. Do we have
Una,
any
just to let you know,
Yeah.
the link isn't working for them. So I think Jan will be putting the links in the chat if she can, but I think a question has to be answered or asked before the chat.
All done.
Before a chat is put in. Sorry, folks, we didn't know this would be a webinar session, so it's set differently to what we're normally used to. So if somebody can ask a question about a link, then we can answer with the link that's required, because I can see you can't click on it there on the screen.
Okay.
So sorry about that.
No problem. It's already been asked and answered, so don't feel free to go and click on the link, guys, for NARIC, and then we'll put any other document in there.
Yeah, just that next one that you put up as well, that needs to go in the chat as well. Yeah. The last one on Springboard Q&A.
Seems mic and camera chat are the same. Okay. So any questions on eligibility? Are we all happy?
You can put your question in the Q&A at the bottom. Yes, Andre. So Andre is just asking if he's been living in Ireland for the past 20 years and if he needs any proof. Because you still are European, not Irish, you would just need to prove that you've been in Ireland for 3 years within the past 5 years. As long as you don't have the Irish nationality, you still need to prove it, basically. I hope that helped, Andre. And that was really clear. Thank you, Samantha. If you work part-time, Onya, how much the course will it be? Can I leave that with you, Una?
Yes, so it depends on the course. If you go onto any of our course pages on the Tangent site, you'll see the fees are between 280 and 320. There's just a small variable rate between. So if you're part-time, but if some people are part-time and still receiving social Department of Social Protection payments, if that's the case for you, then you can actually apply as unemployed because you have those payments, and then you won't need to pay that fee. So it's that piece. If you remember the second last slide, what you're going to apply as, employed, unemployed, and I think there's always a gray area between that. So unemployed means you're receiving a payment. So if that helps, Andrea. It's 11 questions I can see. Can links be emailed us?
They're asking for a few links, so putting them in the answers. That's no problem at all. What kind of proof do you need to show to prove you've been 3 years in Ireland? A rental contract would work. Florence is asking. Yep, rental contract. If this is a question that we all want to follow, I'll just show you the list of supporting documents. So I'll share my screen so you can all see. Share screen, because we're ahead of time. We have 1 more minute. So I'm living full-time in Ireland. Employer's letter, a redacted bank statement. You've got Ukrainian refugees, qualified person, see example below. But if I scroll in, it's quite small. But you can see here we've got bills. We've got communication with any government departments, really. We've got another bill here, another Electric Ireland bill. So they're looking for bills that prove that you're resident in that unit or house. So an energy bill, a gas bill, not a mobile bill, but a mobile bill will work for. If it says, you can see that they have it highlighted. This isn't our document, by the way. This is Springboard's. It's a bit pixelated. So in this example, they're showing that that person is it's a residence broadband bill. So there's lots of those. Even like proof of your bins. I've seen working, just anything like that. And they're not going to be too. If I see an example and I think that probably doesn't work, we will let you know. We won't just refuse you point blank. We will say, oh, if you had something better. Does that make sense? More questions that you have received is a student who has already completed one of the postgraduate with us in Tangent in 2019, but they're working full-time now. They're asking if they still qualify. Yeah, well, it would be great to have you back. You can
You can complete a number of Springboard courses. So as long as it's just one, and you're not doing two in the same year, of course you can apply. You can apply as an employed person.
Another student, future students hopefully, is asking, they are retired, can they still qualify for the course?
Yes, this is, you apply as unemployed. Joanne's nodding her head because she's done these applications before. Is that correct, Joanne? Your mic.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. You can absolutely apply if you're retired. I'm not 100%, but I would assume that it is would be similar to unemployed.
And actually, I'm a graduate of one of our courses, and we had about 3 other students who were retired, and they were the most lively, engaged. They were the best in the class. So I've actually a friend. I feel like a lifelong friend who's a retired person, and they just got really a lot out of the course as well. So you can see here, self-employed. There are conditions on the pension, whether you just have to provide proof of your pension, and that goes into your proof of eligibility, which I'll show now in the demo. So any other questions there, Jan?
Yes, they're asking how long does the process take? The application through Springboard, how long does it take?
Well, I'm trying to answer it fully. Well, if you're applying for workplace wellness, the closing date is 4th of July. You have until the 4th of July. The application, the process, I'm going to do one now, and I've timed myself. It takes me about 10 minutes, but that's dependent on if you have all of these supporting documents available and ready to upload. So it might take a week, it might take 2 weeks to get your academic references sorted. It's really, how long is a piece of string there? It's about having that prepared and getting it uploaded.
I think she's asking, how long does it take for us to process it on our side? So when everything's submitted, I suppose, when will they find out? I think that might be what she's.
So if the closing date's 4th of July, we'll be telling people about 80% of candidates will know on or around the 4th of July, and then we'll be in contact with about 20% more after that date. And then we'll let you know. But you will hear, all candidates will hear from us, so you will have an idea of where your application's at, if it's been reviewed, and you will be able to log into Springboard and see what stage your application's at. So if it's been opened by us, if it's been reviewed, and then if it's been approved, you'll get automated messages. So again, it's hard to say, but we intend to let people know around or close to the closing date.
Other questions is students are asking if they can use the same references as they use in the past for Springboard. They did all the courses with Springboard and they would like to use the same references. Is that okay? I think so, but
yeah, well, we can't see your other applications, so yeah, it should be fine as long as it's not dated. So we don't compare, like, I can't see your previous application. So if it's not dated and it's an academic reference, absolutely. If it's a professional reference that's dated a few years ago, I might question, oh, it's a bit old, but no, I don't think it's a problem.
Oh, and I saw a question up there a minute ago on if they're on the dole, is it free? It's at a certain time. I know you can tell them that you have to be unemployed when you start the course. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
So because sometimes that somebody might be unemployed when they apply for it, but then when it comes to doing the course, they're employed, and it changes. So that's Una you can
you'll hear
for everybody.
So your intention when you apply for the course, if you're unemployed, you like just as Joanne said, you need to have proof that you're unemployed at the start of the course. So we will be in contact at that time requesting that you upload proof of your DSP payment 2 weeks previous to the start of the course. So you're going to have to hold on to your receipts and records, and then there'll be a moment before the course starts where you have to have them uploaded, and we will review and let you know that we're happy. And then say you do end up employed, that also is not a problem. We'll just change your status, but we would request the fee. that's simply how that would go. It wouldn't revoke your place or anything like that.
Thank you. Okay, a few more before we keep going. Mary is asking if she can use 2 professional references instead of 1 academic one. She's struggling to get in touch with her academic supervisor.
Yeah, so we grade the applications, and an academic reference is ideal, but you can submit 2 professional. 2 academic would actually make your application gold standard. But many candidates have joined our courses with 2 professional. It just might mean in the quality of the cohort, if you're up against a lot of really great candidates who all have academic references, your score would be lesser for that reason. And it's a bit of a problem, but people get tied up about the academic references. We will accept things if you've done any professional development courses, or if you've, it doesn't have to potentially be your undergrad. You might have engaged with academics in another way. I had a candidate who was working with IMA and had engaged with academics for our creative course. His undergrad was in something completely different, and reached out to an academic in IMA, which is the Irish Modern Art Museum or Art University. So that works, you know, so it doesn't have to necessarily be related to your undergrad. So there might be someone that you are aware of. But yeah, ideally you have 1 academic, but to answer your question, 2 professional could be just fine. It just depends.
Depends on how oversubscribed the course is. If the course is very oversubscribed, there could be, you know, it may impact you then, but hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Thank you. We have a question regarding workplace wellness, as we're running 2 courses, one during the day, one during the evening. And people are just asking, they're not sure yet which one they're going to go for. Is there a possibility to change after, even if the course has already been agreed or not, depending on their work?
I'm going to make this the last question. We have another period because we have to get through our demo. You won't, the way we see them, they're 2 separate courses. The better option in that scenario would be to apply to each course twice. Or sorry, apply to the daytime course and the evening course. And then if you have to make a decision, you have your place. We can't switch you, and we don't want to switch you. It may be possible in extenuating circumstances, but we're not giving that as an option as it stands. Because Springboard's third party, we don't know how we would be able to switch it, and it could be a case where we're not able to do it and it's out of our hands. So it would be better for you to put in an application for both. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Great. So I'll get.
Do you want to keep going and we answer the rest of the questions after, Una?
Yeah, let's do that. Is that okay, everyone?
Brilliant.
We just have to make sure that we cover everything.
I'll answer everything I can in the chat box in the meantime. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Jan on technical support. She's doing great. So, okay, can everyone see my screen? I'm on the Springboard website. Thumbs up. Yeah. Great. Thanks, guys. I can see, everyone's raising their hands. That's brilliant. So this is springboardcourses.ie. It's the website that you have to use to apply for our Tangent course, for our Springboard courses. So what that means is you have a profile, and we've already heard from people in the question and answer session there that they've applied for courses through this website already, so it may already know you. So you simply have to log in. Now I'm already logged in, so you'll see a little login screen above. I just don't want to show you my personal login, but it should look like this. If you haven't ever logged into the Springboard site before, there is a register, and it's very, very simple. It just asks for your name, your address, your date of birth, your that's simply it. It's just setting yourself up with a profile. Very, very easy, very straightforward, and I'm sure you've done similar things before. So what you need to do is go over to courses, and this is how you start your application. Now we've got, am I eligible? I've just been through that whole section, but if you want to go back and review if you're eligible, you'll find all that in there. We'll search our courses, and I'll show you where we find our Trinity courses. Sorry, you go into providers, Trinity. And there we go. And then you should press search. And it should come up, but obviously I've done something wrong. Hold on, try again. Trinity. Search. So the tangent courses are postgraduate certificate in climate and entrepreneurship. We've got our workplace wellness daytime, important. We've got our creative and cultural, and we have our workplace wellness evening course, okay? So if I want to apply, you can, of course, you can click more details, but if you want to apply, you just simply select apply now and you have to complete your self-declaration form. So this is to get you to the application form, you're self-declaring yourself on the eligibility criteria that we've been through. So you can select if you're employed, unemployed, self-employed, a returner, a recent graduate. We've also got formally self-employed, which is it's not of anyone's benefit. You'd be better selecting employed or unemployed. It's a new box that we've been given, and we're not sure how that's going to appear for us, but there's no, I don't, yeah, it would be a question for Springboard. So look, I'm going to do it as an employed person. You can see it will ask me if I'm living full-time in the Republic of Ireland. I say yes. Do I have a PPSN? I say yes. Do I meet the nationality visa requirements? We've been through those. You make a decision, you say yes. There's a little more information on it there. Have I lived in either the EU, the EEA, UK in the last 5 years? You say no. Just for this example, I'm going to pretend that I'm someone that's been living in Ireland, and I've got no particular names provided. Oh, hold on. Yes. And then it's simply telling me that I understand if I'm offered a place on my chosen course by my course provider, that I will have to provide those supporting documents. And that's on you. You will be requested. So you're self-declaring now without the evidence. And I just say I declare, and you can proceed. What I want to show you, if you're unemployed, you'll notice that I don't have to select the nationality requirements, because what we're looking for there is your proof of DSP and your proof of payments. So it looks a little different for those who are unemployed. Okay. And then if you're a recent graduate or a returner, it will ask you for it will automatically ask you for the proof of those, that you are a returner to the workforce, that you've a caregiver, etc. So just be important. It's very important that you select the right one. I'm saying employed, and then it's done this to me now. Yes, and then I self-declare, and then my button disappeared. We knew this might happen, so hold on. I just have to stop sharing. It's just a function of the site. I don't know why it does it.
You know how it is. When things can go wrong, they always do once you're live in front of everybody. No matter how many times we rehearse in advance.
We knew this would happen. So and in our demos, we saw that the button disappeared. There's nothing I can do, only hope that it returns. So I'm just trying it when you guys aren't looking. And then
it's always like that.
It's back.
Murphy's Lloyd's on it.
Share. So that's the button, and it's back. So proceed to application. I didn't do anything different there, guys. It's Zoom doing something to the application, so I don't think that will happen for you. So it's just, let's just forget about it. So now we have our area, our overview, asking us to upload and put in those documents that are required. So the documents that we require you to upload for our courses, and it'll be different for other providers. We want to see a curriculum vitae, and that's because some of our courses, our academics want to see people with a bit of experience in that area. So 2 pages max, ideally a PDF. We want to see a statement of interest. So that's where you should include elements around your interest, your life work experience, your qualifications, and what's relevant to the program. And it would be great to see those on headed paper or in a Word document. We sometimes get screen grabs of notes on people's phones. Just try and make it, this is an application for 3rd level institution. So try and make it official. We also want to see those references. So like we've mentioned before, there's your academic reference, your professional reference. A professional reference is the standard reference that you would know of, which are, you know, a lawyer, a manager, a director, someone who's worked with you, but we want to see them on headed paper. An academic reference, similar, would be great if they were on a headed paper and also had the contact details of the person who is giving that reference. Then your degree certificate. So we want to see a copy of your cert, a copy of your transcript if you're a recent graduate, and then that NARIC form as well. So again, that's if you've got an international, oh, there's lots of people raising their hands, I know. But that's if you've got an international qualification. We will go for questions at the end of this. So I'll try and be quick now because we're nearly done. And then your proof of eligibility of your Springboard funding. So there's your employment detail, your copy of your payslip, and you might have to upload multiple documents. So what I'm going to do is upload some documents and show you what that looks like. So what was my first document? It was a CV. So I have, I think it's in here, my little CV. I'm going to open it, and there you have it there. The issue with Springboard is it only allows you to upload one document in these areas, and it will tell you here that it will allow a zip. So a zip being multiple documents as one file. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So if I go back, I'm going to put my statement of interest. Now, if you use a Mac, this process might look a little different. Statement of interest, you can see I've saved them as PDFs. I've got my reference, so I'll put in reference 1. I've got my degree, choose file. So now I'm going to just show you, say you have a NARIC form and a degree and you want to upload the two. If you do degree and transcript, and then if you choose NARIC, it won't work. It will only upload one document. And that's when you get an email from me saying, we don't have all your documents. So what you need to do is have a folder on your desktop, and you need to put those two. I've also got a CV in there. We'll just delete that. So you need to put those two files into that little zip folder. It's like a little added extra. You right click it. It's a little different again on a Mac, but it shouldn't be too different.
And again, Una, just to tell them that you created that zip folder. You can call it anything you like.
Yeah, you can call it anything.
Create your own folder. Yeah.
Good point, John. Thank you. Sorry. You simply just select compressed zipped folder, and then you call it zip. I'm just calling it zip for the purpose of the demonstration. And then now that it's there, you can see it's got a little icon it's like zipped. And I select open, and there it is there, zip. But that should include my two files, and I've unselected it. So just select again. And that's how you upload multiples. So in your proof of eligibility, you will similarly have to upload a number of different documents. And I know a few people struggle with this. So what you're doing there is you have to upload a zipped folder with the multiple documents. So your payslip, your proof of eligibility, your bills. That's what we're looking for there. But for this example, I'm just going to do that. And then payslip, or what's this reference to? So I just upload my reference to. So that person who asked the question about how long does it take? I know the question was how long does it take for us to get back to you, but it takes some people a long time to do this application. But what you have the benefit of is Springboard actually allows you to save your application mid-application, and you can come back to it. So maybe you realize, oh, I'm missing one. You can save it, and then it will allow you to come back to the application. Or you can select apply for course. So, I thought this wouldn't happen, but sometimes it will ask you for some overview general information, and the general information you can update in here, and then you can select apply. So duration of residency, and how did you find out about the Springboard ICT skills conversion? I just haven't updated them, but that's actually my personal information, because this is my own Springboard account. So I'm just going to change it here. And
so Una, just to make it clear to everybody, you can go in and start working on your application and save it. you know, and then go back into it. So you can just log in and out of your own Springboard account and go in and out of that application or whichever applications you're doing and work on them bit by bit. As you get documents, you can upload them, and then when you're ready, hit the apply button. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Apply for course, and now you can see. So that was just simply just some personal information in the general tab. It was a survey. Please ensure all information that you have provided in respect of your application is correct, and you can select OK. Oh, and then it threw me out, but hopefully it will have saved it. So and I can go back in. Now, if you're contacted by me and you're missing your documents, or you're missing some documents, you can just go back into your Springboard applications here, and then courses. Am I still logged in? I just can't see what's in. Yeah. Courses.
Yeah, you can see you're logged in because it'll say welcome and your name up top.
Up here, see?
Yeah.
And then I should see my applications, and it should say 1. So when you are due to update your application, say I've asked you for supporting material, you simply select the application button here and you re-upload. You'll have access to re-upload those documents. And if you do have a problem with that, you can, of course, email us and we will help you with it. So it's you do have time, and you will have time after, say, after the application deadline is closed and we're reviewing your application, you'll still be able to get in and see your application. So look, any more questions? We
do
5 minutes.
The first one was actually at the beginning of the meeting. Somebody suggested that there is no box in social welfare box to click for pension payment. I think it's maybe more on the Springboard website than related to Tangent directly, but maybe you know about it, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, Springboard is third party to us, so I do agree. They're always looking for feedback, and we have processed pension payments before, so it's not really a problem. But yeah, it would be nice if there was a drop down and it was clear, instead of having to say you're unemployed. It's not correct. I think that's what the question is. Preference would be to say retired or on pension. So yeah, it's just it's not something that we can control, I'm afraid.
Okay, Regina, if that helps, let us know. Otherwise, if you have further questions, don't hesitate to put them in the Q&A. Wondering if a written academic reference that has been written more than 5 years ago is still suitable as an academic reference.
Would a written academic reference from 5+ years ago be sufficient? We're looking for the person to recommend you for this course.
Yeah.
So it really depends on how it's written. I can't imagine it would be written correctly, recommending you to do, say, a workplace wellness course. It wouldn't. But if it was written in it's hard to say without reviewing it. You can send your academic reference to springboard@tcd.ie, and I can let you know if we would be happy to accept it. I can take it offline if that's okay, David. Is it
possible to upload new document after submission of the application?
Yep, definitely. That's what we're in the process of doing. A lot of people are doing that, but
so Una, are they best to apply straight away, even after they've just uploaded 1 or 2 documents to get their application in? That might be what.
Yeah, you'd be better to have a finished application, because then we'll review your application and it will be deemed ineligible. It goes to the bottom of the pile, and then we'll probably contact you to say we're missing some documents. So there is an element of the people who apply first as well, and are eligible and meet all the criteria and have a really good, for example, our workplace wellness course has a lot of interest. So we will be offering places. So it would be better if you had it would be better if you had
everything at the same time. Yeah.
Everything at the same time.
Yeah, because if you get an application with just one attachment to it, you're going to put that to the bottom of the pile and accept other people ahead of it because they've better applications. Yeah, and if it fills up, then the places could be gone on the course. Yeah.
And just to let you know, guys, the closing dates are approaching really quickly. really, really quickly. So just to give you an idea, Workplace Wellness, the closing date is on the 4th of July. For climate is on the 8th of August, and creative and cultural entrepreneurship, it's also on the 8th of August. So the sooner the better.
Yeah.
Because as we're saying, we don't have that many places available. So register yourself ASAP.
And they're fantastic courses. Just as a program coordinator, people come away from these courses like with new ways of thinking, and you know, we generally have like fantastic feedback from people on the courses and a great new network of friends as well. So they're like, come on and join us, come on and apply. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions. I can see Regina's saying it won't let you get past a section without getting to the next part. Yeah, there are required fields, but sometimes people don't upload the right documents to those required fields. So that's what we're referencing.
We have some very nice selfies sometimes. Instead of an academic reference, you can, that happened in the past. I receive a nice selfie of somebody instead. So, you know, it's still possible.
They're keen to get the application in, but as Una said, best to get it in with the correct information in it rather than just to get the application in.
You will make Una's life easier as well.
Yeah.
So that's it. If there are any, Imelda, can't wait, looking forward to it. In the evening course for wellness online or back in person, it's blended. The evening course is blended. So there will be online lectures as well as in-person, in tangent events as well. So Tina, if you want to email the Springboard at tcd.ie website, I can send you an example of what the timetable will look like. But timetables aren't finalized yet, so we're just not able to give the final version.
They're very much just looking at them for workplace wellness in the evening and daytime. They're very much, you know, online. They're mixed throughout each module. So there's 3 modules, and there's a mix of online and in person.
Yeah. So
definitely blended, because we find that students don't like it when they've got a whole module that's online and a whole module that's in class. So we're sticking with the blended learning. It seems to work best.
And you will know
feedback from previous students. Sorry.
And you'll know in advance if you expect it to be on site or online. So you'll be able to organize yourself as well prior to the course starts for the whole academic year.
That's a good question there.
For you, Joanne. Yeah, I think Joanne will be best to answer that last question here regarding the academic reference from Shay or for Brian.
Oh no, I don't think you can submit one from us. Just as of health at work could qualify as an academic. From Shay or Brian. Yeah, I don't think you can use any of us as as Shay or Brian as a for our courses. Do you know what I mean? Like one of us couldn't be a reference for for one of our courses, I would imagine, if that's what you're asking, if that's correct.
And then there's just how can you know if you received the application? You should get an automated email from Springboard saying your application has been received, and you can check the status of your application just like I showed in the application pane. Is there word count guide for references? We say like 1 page, kind of 500 to 700 words max. That's kind of the word count for a page. So nothing too, we're not looking for a huge reference. 1 pager is just fine, but we're not going to be word counting them either. If you're over by 20 words, that's absolutely fine. A reference is what we're looking for. But again, we're not looking for War and Peace. We don't want 10 pages of a reference. We just want to see 1 page. We should be able to make it nice and succinct.
Sorry, Una, can I come back and say that person who was asking about references, actually, if you're applying for another course and you just did workplace wellness, Brian isn't actually a member of Tangent. So you could, if Brian gave you a reference, that would be totally fine. Just to say that.
Okay, yeah.
If you're applying for another course.
So that's it. We've reached time. We're 1 minute over. This will be available to rewatch. We also have another event tonight. So if you know anyone who wants to join this evening after work, please do let them know. And that's all from us. So yeah. I think that's it.
And hopefully we'll see you all at the open evenings.
And looking forward to seeing a lot of you in September, all right?
Because we didn't get to see your faces today.
Thank you so much,
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon. Fingers crossed, everyone. Bye.
Bye.